All I did was show up and bitches was mad. I want pretty girls to win. I'm always rooting for the pretty girl. If you are a pretty girl, I feel like you have been met with certain challenges. Therefore, that were no fault on your own, because you can't help it that your parents chose to mate with each other and create such a beautiful thing. So, like, it's not like the challenges were even something that you brought upon yourself. So, here I wrote it. Pretty girl problems. Let's go. The look is half the battle. You need to spiritually and physically embody the growing pains of a bad bitch to be a bad bitch. Imagine going through a tough childhood, right? Me, for instance. On top of being pretty. From a young age, from JIT, you have people trying to break your spirit. When I was in middle school, older relatives would talk down on my body. And obviously, when I was a kid, I didn't know why that was the case. But I realize now that the reason why they would talk down on my body is because they wanted to brew an insecurity. So that way I wouldn't become confident growing up and intimidating them, or being someone who does intimidate them. But one thing I can say is it actually worked in the opposite for me, because when I was getting bullied and I was hearing negative things from my family members, it made me realize that all I had was myself. All I could depend on was myself for my confidence. And so I became mad arrogant, mad confident. Like, I am my biggest cheerleader. So it actually worked in the opposite, and it saved me. Being confident saved me. I remember when I was watching, I remember when I was watching Bad Girls Club, and there was a cast member on there. Her name was Judy, and for whatever reason, the girl couldn't hold her liquor. She was wild, blah, blah, blah. She would name drop. She was just loud. And one of the girls was like, yeah, we don't like you. And she looked them dead in their face like, I don't give a damn. She said, I don't give a fuck. I like my damn self. Ever since I heard that, I don't give a fuck. I like my damn self. Shout out to Judy. I was in middle school when that came out. So it was like a seed planted in my mind. And yeah, that taught me, like, yeah, you gotta be your biggest cheerleader. Obviously, when I was younger, I didn't know that a hater's solution to you intimidating them was to break you. To break your spirit. So I just responded with arrogance. Like, you want me to hate myself? I'm gonna love myself just that much more just because you want me to hate myself. Now what? I was in middle school and high school. I'm gonna put up some pictures, okay? I had motherfuckers hating. And all I did was show up. All I did was show up, and bitches was mad. At a certain age, I just learned to be arrogant and pop my shit, and that's what I did. And to this day, I would say I'm more confident than arrogant now, because I feel like there's a difference. I feel like arrogance is you assume a higher position even though you don't have nothing to show for it, whereas confidence is, I've been through this, I may have failed a few times, I went through it again, I have some successes, and I have a reason to believe in myself. Yes, I have evidence to believe that I'm that bitch. That's the difference between being arrogant and being confident. But obviously, when you're in middle school, the only thing I could do was just be arrogant, and I carried that with me even through high school. But with being arrogant, that intimidated more people, and I feel like it brought in more haters in my life, because it's one thing to look a certain way and that intimidates people, but when you believe in yourself, that also intimidates people. So I invited even more haters just by being arrogant or like believing in myself, just thinking that I was that girl. Oh, why is she so confident? She's not that pretty. Her teeth are crooked. She's fat. She only has a big butt. Yada, 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 whatever. And they weren't necessarily wrong. Like, I do have crooked teeth. They're probably not wrong in their perception, but because I didn't give a fuck that they felt that way, they were bothered by that as well. And they felt like they needed to prove to me that I was not worthy of being confident. But I'll just go ahead and say this. Their plans to make me insecure failed significantly. Because that was my solution to the problem. So it was like, it just gassed me even more. I have battled enough shit to know the look is half the battle. You have to learn to love yourself, even when most people are trying to convince you not to. You are encountering people, you have no idea why they are intimidated by you. You have no idea why they have certain energy towards you. And you just mentally have to keep fucking believing in yourself. It's harder than it sounds, actually. Especially when we're social creatures. Like, we want friends, we want to be nice to people, we want people to be nice to us. So when that doesn't happen, it can very much so break your spirit, because just, what is it called? Instinctively, when you're an outcast, you automatically link that to your survival. Naturally, we are social creatures, so when we don't fit in socially, it bothers our self-esteem. Because back in the old times, if you ain't have no clique, if you ain't have no tribe, your ass had a chance of not surviving. So we literally link being social to surviving. And in a way, it still is important, but not as it was back then. You can self-sustain now. You don't gotta worry about a bear coming to fuck you up now. There's this book that I read. It's called Pimp Psychology. And in that book, it's by Pimpin' Ken. But he talks about that psychology of pimping and how to get a woman, a hoe, to go out, make money with her body, and then give it to a pimp, a man. He says that there's this thing that they do called breaking. And in breaking, it is an effort to convince and ensure a hoe of her insecurities, thus making her dependent upon the pimp. People know that insecure girls are easier to control. Why? Because they're looking for validation. They're dependent upon your approval. So when you're dependent upon something, you literally need that to sustain yourself. And if you need that from somebody else, they have the power to withhold that. And because you're looking for something that they're withholding, they have the power to control you. If you make someone question your beauty, your body, or your worth, you start looking to them or to others for validation. It's a subtle way of keeping you dependent and small instead of powerful and self-led. So, number one pretty girl problem is people trying to put you in a position where they don't want you to be confident because they want you to get your validation from them. And when that's not the case, yes, you have people who will try even harder to break your confidence, to break your spirit, and to convince you that you don't even need to be confident because you're not that pretty, you're not that cute, you're not that skinny, you're not that this, you're not that smart, But it's a mind game. It's psychology at the end of the day. Being pretty requires mental strength, and sometimes that strength comes from pain. It's built through pain. I'm going to be reading off my phone because this is the important part. This is the part where you want to ding, 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 really listen to. That brings me to my next point. You are encountering people who want to break you and make you feel insecure because that is a permission slip to pop your shit. I promise you I'm getting somewhere with this. Learn to be comfortable with being the bad guy. Okay? Because when you are pretty, when you have already been blessed with the looks, people also are going to attribute certain characteristics towards you. Like, you have to be the nice person because you're already pretty, so you can't be mean. Just because you're pretty doesn't mean you have to play nice or fair. Especially when others aren't doing the same for you. You are allowed to use your advantages as you see fit. People are going to take everything you do as an attack because they are intimidated by you, but that's not your problem. They are projecting and they are looking to protect their feelings and mask their insecurities with your silence, with your fear of being seen. Now, I'm going to read that again because I even shocked myself when I wrote that. You are allowed to use your advantages as you see fit. People are going to take everything you do as an attack because they are intimidated by you, but that's not your problem. They are projecting and they are looking to protect their feelings and mask their insecurities with your silence and with your fear of being seen. They'll call you arrogant, but that's what confidence sounds like when it's coming from a woman they can't control. You don't owe anyone humility when you've worked this hard to love yourself. Why do you have to be nice and they don't have to be nice to you? Nobody else plays nice. I'm telling you right now. And I have a story to tell. I had to learn the hard way. Everybody you meet is just as vain as you. And if they could pop their shit, they would. I was in high school, BBL allegations, body, naturally. Okay? And I was called arrogant. I was called cocky. I had no reason to be this, to be that. Lo and behold, after 2015, we all graduate. Bitches get BBLs. And now they're on Instagram popping their shit. But it was a problem when I was doing it naturally. And that just goes to show you. It wasn't that they had a problem with me doing it. They had a problem that they just couldn't join in at that time. Now they done got their BBL. They done got their gastric bypasses. And now they're cocky and arrogant as you were in high school. And they were shaming you for being cocky and arrogant because you had that shit naturally. Girl, don't. You need to be okay with being the bad guy. It is what it is. Because if they had the ability to pop some shit, guarantee you they would. No questions asked. I had to learn that myself. You don't owe anyone humility when you've worked this hard to love yourself. Okay? So if your experience was anything like mine and you had people trying to tear your confidence down and you just had to go through the why don't they like me phase to fuck it, if they don't like me, I'll like me. And then why does she like herself? Why is she so confident? Blah, 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 blah. Going through mountains just to be okay with being you because people are intimidated for whatever reason that they got going on. Why do you now owe it to people to be a sheep? Just because they expect that from you, because they want to apply certain rules to your life because you've been blessed with beauty, does not mean you have to live by their rules. The villain in their story is the hero in your own. My mom has this saying, and I love it so much, it's niggas just gonna have to feel some type of way. Like, sometimes you're gonna have to make certain decisions and it's gonna be like, motherfuckers just gonna have to feel some type of way, and that is what it is. That's not my problem. If that's the cost, I'm willing to pay that price. So be okay with being the villain if it means you are the hero in your own story. That might sound a little corny, but I like it. Pretty girl power. Pretty girl power. Because I've also encountered other pretty women who were insecure because they've listened to other people who tried to tear them down. And so they want to try to put their insecurities on you as well. Like, oh, I silenced myself, so you have to do the same thing. You can't be happy that you're light skinned. You can't be happy that you have a big butt. You can't be happy that you're pretty. You can't be happy that your parents are well off, because I was told that I could not be proud of these privileges. So therefore, because I follow the rule, you have to follow the rule too. That's a lie. Because they went through the breaking phases with other people, and now they're trying to project that on you. Because they listened to the cowards. They listened to the ugly people. It is what it is. And so now they want you to follow suit. And when you don't follow suit, you're the bad guy. You're the villain. It's okay. It is perfectly okay to not fit in. Put your pretty girl power panties on. Cause ain't nothing worse than a hoe that's stinking a hater. And she not even ugly, just stinking hating asshole. Just stink. Like, you too pretty to be a hater. You too pretty to be that stink. But I get it, because it happened to me. I know what happened to you, and you fell for it. Me, I just knew from a young age, you know, different, like I told you, the TV show, and different people that I met, I just knew confidence and being arrogant was my only solution. Like Kanye West said, using arrogance as esteem to power my dreams and my ego. Because I had to believe in myself. All y'all motherfuckers don't like me. I wonder why. I wonder why that is. It's because you see my ass, you see this small waist, and you're bothered. But, baby girl, I don't know what to tell you. Believe in yourself. Be your biggest cheerleader. Even if it makes others uncomfortable. Fuck them. At the end of the day. Alright now, bye.